My producer's mind kicked in, assessing the damage, a 70% loss of vision, and my fingers were numb. Within minutes, I was packing a bag, using my teeth to zip it shut. In hospital waiting rooms, I held my breath, straining to see as the outer world shrunk into an ever-decreasing halo. Fear clamped my chest, and my body shook as an invisible disease attacked my nervous system. Ed frantically pushed my wheelchair from department to department as numbness crept up my legs and desperation raised our voices. Assessed by a consultant neurologist 48 hours after my first symptom, my feet were lifeless blocks of ice and my sight had all but gone. When I was finally admitted onto a ward the next morning, I was blind and paralysed. In just 72 hours, 2 of my major senses had been obliterated. Over the following weeks, I was tested for everything from a brain tumour to multiple sclerosis. Unable to diagnose me, I was dubbed the mystery patient. My mother arrived in her unassailable manner, bringing a care rota and gentle interference. An easy chair was dragged into my room so my family could stay with me day and night. Infused with a sense of detached reality, dark humour kept us sane. After 2 days of complete blackness, a monochromatic world began to emerge. Consisting only of clouds and wispy lines, I couldn't see the bed I was lying in. Unable to move my hands or feet, a determination grew and I looked inwards for respite. My mind plundered resources from my past. Slow yogic breathing and visualization, learned when I was pregnant, soothed my nerves and kept me calm. Imagining a sun-soaked beach became my mental sanctuary, escaping the gut-wrenching anxiety my illness brought on. I didn't tell anyone what I was doing or where I was going. I let my unconscious mind lead me. Intuition took over as I counted down from 10, reigniting hypnotic triggers and using my mind's eye to see. With 2 physical senses wiped out, I dug imaginary toes into invisible sand and directed cerulean waves. As I flicked through my memory bank, I plucked out patterns and textures and rebuilt a pictorial world. Firing at the vision centres within my brain meant I was keeping them active, leaving a trail of visual crumbs so that one day I might find my way back. Who'd have guessed that strolling along an imaginary beach could have any effect? But it did. Visualising had been one of the more enjoyable elements of my antenatal classes, seemingly fanciful until it proved a powerful force during the birth of my son. Visualisation often blurs into self-hypnosis and can also be a type of meditation. Not that I appreciated those subtleties at the time. Combined with yogic breathing, my made-up beach was a survival tactic that helped me endure a horrific episode. It was the one tool I had unfettered access to that I could do for myself. It didn't matter that I was a novice or naive. Visualising saved my mind. 3 weeks after my first symptom, I was discharged from hospital, needing a stick and legally blind. A catastrophic episode was what they said. A rare neurological illness had stripped my senses. For months I inhabited a flickering X-ray, with wobbling grey lines and only hints of colour. With no 3-dimensional vision, faces were translucent and bodies ghoulish outlines. Unable to hold a spoon, my children stroked my hair and fed me apple crumble. Then the ice in my limbs began to thaw, and I would wiggle fingers and toes. Using my stick, I limped up our driveway, learning to laugh at what I heard, not what I saw. Throughout it all, nights of insomnia blurred my mind, compounding my anxiety, a fear in itself. I had suffered poor sleep in the past, but now I dreaded the night, the heart-pounding panic that bedtime brought on. The insomnia lessened as my vision recovered, and my family propped me up. Contrast deepened, blacks became darker and whites more pronounced, and colour became a sensory experience, something I felt rather than saw. Visual messages became jumbled when our lawn flashed up as red instead of the green it should have been. As my brain slowly healed, I lived through a visual odyssey.